All right, guys, hello and welcome to this next segment of my How to Ride a Motorcycle video series. In this segment, again, we will not be actually on the road or outside for that matter. As you can see, it's kind of raining out, kind of dreary, so we're going to be in the garage today, which is probably appropriate considering we will be talking about maintenance and care tips. And also some stuff you should check on your bike before every ride to make sure it's in working order and won't cause you any problems while actually out on the road. So to start things off, we're going to talk about some maintenance tips, some stuff that you should keep in mind, some stuff that you should do to your bike to make sure it is in perfect working order. So we're going to jump right into it. Probably the most common thing and thing you should do most often to your bike is clean the chain. Now, right here, as you can see, I have some bike chain degreaser and some chain lube. So what you want to do for those is we're going to come down here to our actual chain itself, which is located right here, as you can see. Mine's a little dirty at the moment. Probably needs to be cleaned sometime soon. Might even be able to do that today. So what this does is the bike degreaser, it will degrease your chain and clean it. And then afterwards you do that. Right here, I guess I'll just show it to you, like explain it a little bit more in depth. So the first thing you want to do is spray this all over your chain very thoroughly on both sides. And then wipe it down a little bit, and then take this bad boy, which is called the grunge brush, looks pretty grungy to me, and then get up in your chain like this and like scrub it down. So that cleans it. And then afterwards, maybe rinse a little water on that and let it dry. And then afterwards, use your chain lube and put this on, not sparingly at all. Apply a generous amount to get your chain all lubed up. So that's probably the most common preventative maintenance thing you can do. It's good to do that depending on how often you ride. The last time I did it was probably a couple weeks ago, and I ride a couple times a week, so I'm due to do mine. So yeah, moving on. The next thing would be is your oil level. Now, bikes are usually good for about 3,000 miles before you need to change your oil. A little less than cars, but it's, still a pretty good amount of time. You can do that yourself. I do not actually know how to do an oil change on this bike. I'm going to learn though, because oil changes can be a little expensive, but you don't have to do them very often, so I guess it's okay. The dealer can do that for you. That's very important though. If your bike runs out of oil, the engine will seize up, and if that happens to occur while you're riding, well, that might be a little bit of a problem. So always make sure you have enough oil in your bike. Just based on the last time you did get it changed, just keep an eye on your odometer and to see if you're due for an oil change. Let's see, another maintenance tip would just be keep your bike clean. The cleaner something is, the less chance that some dirt might, not get into a bad place or something. I mean, that's more of like a minor cosmetic thing, but I mean, a clean bike, number one, it just looks better. And, if you keep up on that over time, it'll help so some parts do not deteriorate. Let's see, the next thing I would say for a maintenance and care tip would be check your other fluid levels. So if you want to come right here, this bad boy right here is the front brake fluid reservoir. So that's important for the front brake, and your front brake's important, as we talked about. 70% of your braking power right there. And then the rear one, which is right down here, this is the rear brake fluid reservoir. That powers your rear brake. So both very important. Make sure those are full. Mine are above the upper level, so I think I'm good to go with that. So yeah, those are just the basics that you should do. And if you notice anything wrong with your bike, it's, you know, unless you're qualified or you know what you're doing, take it to a dealer so you don't mess something up further. That's a good rule of thumb with that. So moving on to the little maintenance checklist, I guess, before you ride to make sure that your bike is safe. We're gonna go over that. So as you can see, I have right here a little checklist. This is in the Basic Rider course book that they give you when you take the course. And the little abbreviation that they have for it is called T-clocks. So starting with the T, I'm gonna actually do this checklist right now. And so you guys can just know what to do. Okay, so we're gonna start with T, and that's tire and wheels. So we're gonna check the air pressure. Excuse me. So I don't actually have an air pressure monitor with me, or a gauge, but if you just feel your tire, I would say, and my rear one feels good. Let's go over to the front one. That feels good. Okay, so air pressure checks out. Tread. You can see on my front one, my tread like right here, that looks pretty good. Let's check the back one. Also looks pretty good. Cracks, dents, and loose spokes. Let's see, my spokes look good. Let's see. My cracks and dents. I do not think there are any cracks and dents in my rear tire. Let's go maybe check the front one. Nope, the front one looks pretty good. All right, moving on. The next one is bearings. This is gonna be funny, I'm putting this on the video. I do not actually know what tire bearings are, but afterwards I will look that up on Google and I will find them and try to include something in this video for that. Brakes. So your brakes are the discs right here. Mine are a little dirty just cosmetically, but I rode yesterday and I know for a fact that my brakes are in good working order. Check the front one. Yeah, it looks good to me. I guess while we're doing brakes, we can just check the levers. Feels good. And then the rear one also feels good. Okay, so that would be tire and wheels. Controls. So we have levers, switches, cables, hoses, and the throttle. So I just did the front brake lever. That felt good. Let's check the clutch right here. It looks good to me. Switches. Let's turn the bike on. Let's see. Oh, that's me a little loud here in the garage. I don't know if I want to do that actually. Switches. Switch looks fine. Turn signals. Feels good. Cables. So if you can see, the cables are gonna be like right in here. The clutch cable right here, or I guess that's a hose probably. Which is, we also have to check that. So we did levers, we did switches, cables, hoses, throttle. Make sure the throttle's working, feels good. That feels normal to me. All right, so our controls look good. Lights and electronics. I guess I do have to turn the bike on if we're gonna check that. Excuse the noise. Okay, so the bike's on. Let's check the lights and electronics. So right now my low beam headlight is on. And now the high beam is too, so the headlights look good. Check our left turn signals. It's working right there. It's working down there. And it's also working back there. All right, we're good to go with that. Let's try the right one. Looks good right there. Looks good right there. Let's check, see if the horn works. The horn works, that's good to know. All right, we can probably turn the bike off now. Oil and other fluids, coolant, hydraulic fluid, and fuel. I do not know where I guess the hydraulics would be the brake reservoirs. We already checked those out, so we're good to go with that. Let's see. Levels look good. Leaks. Nope, bike's not really leaking anything. That's good to go. chassis, the suspension, and drive components. Let's see, check the chain, we already did that. We're good to go. Let's check the suspension. I'm just gonna move the camera so I can push down on it real quick. Okay, the suspension felt good. Drive components, chain belt, there's no belts. Well, yeah, there is belts. Those are in the engine, but I can't really check those because they're in there. Fuel, my fuel I filled up yesterday. And then the stands, the kickstand down there. It looks good, it's holding the bike up. Well, now it's really holding the bike up. So we're gonna go with that. So that's just the, excuse me, the pre-ride checklist. I do not do it every time. As you see, it takes a couple minutes. But it's good to do it every week or so. You know, the full one, but at least at the minimum, check your tires. Those are very important. Those are what keep you on the road after all. So I would say above all, just really quickly check the air pressure on your tires, because if they're flat, well, that could be trouble. So I hope this video helped teach you a little bit of what to do as like a checklist, and also some of just the basic maintenance and care tips. So if you have any questions, there are a load of resources out there on the internet. Plenty of dealers around that can help you if you have any kind of questions. And yeah, that should be it for this one. So, all right, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Have a good one.